Welcome everybody to Yin Yoga with the Phoenix. Today's class is going to be about the hips. So today in modern society we have a lot of problems with the hips. They take a lot of stress, and that's where, according to traditional Chinese medicine, where we store the majority of our stresses. And this is exacerbated nowadays with the amount of sitting that we do, right, which is really not good for the psoas, the hip flexors. And so we're going to address that today, right, and get rid of some of that stress that's been accumulating in your body, right. Sit nice and tall, and we're going to just really address those hip areas. Yin Yoga, right, for those of you that have never practiced Yin Yoga before, is a simple practice, but that doesn't mean to say it's easy. Simple, not easy. And there's a number of things, if you think about it, in life that are very, very, very simple, but they're not easy to do. I don't know if there's anybody out there that, used to smoke cigarettes. Certainly I did. I was totally hooked up on them, and alcohol. And, simple, isn't it? Just don't put the cigarette in your mouth. Don't light it up. Bingo, you've stopped smoking. But it's not quite that easy, is it? As we all know that have tried to go through giving up cigarettes or grog or booze. Grog, we call it grog in Australia, because it makes you groggy, doesn't it? Right. So I've had my challenges with addictions, and yoga's helped me to get through them. And now I have the honor to practice and teach others, help them get out of their dark spaces. So I start and finish all my yoga classes with the 3 Om mantra. And you're welcome to join in if you'd like. If you don't, well, that's fine. Just sit nice and tall and follow the breath in and out of the body. Bring the hands into Namaskar. Right, we're going to take a nice big deep breath in. Bring the hands down onto the knees. And you can make a chin mudra like this. Place the back of the hands onto the knees. Lift the chest nice and tall. And start to breathe into the body. Feel the breath moving in and out of the body, and being grateful for that. In yogic philosophy, we call the breath or energy force prana. And the prana is connected with the breath. So the breath, right, is our connection with everything. Because when you breathe out, I breathe in. And the trees breathe out, I breathe in. And the universe revolves around and expands through prana. And the blade of grass grows because of prana. So because of this, we are connected with everything. We are one with everything. And we kind of lose that and feel that perhaps we're individual. But if you think about that, it's not possible to be an individual. I need you, you need me. I can't even get the groceries without somebody helping me. So how could I possibly be an individual? I'm interdependent, as we all are. We're sharing the prana, the life force energy, while it's with us for a little while. In the traditional Chinese philosophy, we call it qi. So it's very similar, the concept behind it. But today's class is going to be about an energy, and not so much about the energetic qualities, but more about the physical. So we're going to manipulate the physical to lose some stresses in there. Just allowing the breath to move gently in and out. Good. And let that go. Okay, so if you have a block, grab a block. If you have a bolster, grab a bolster. If you have neither of these, you can use a book. You can use a pillow, right? You can use a blanket, right, to substitute for any of these things. I'm fortunate because, well, I've got a yoga studio, so I kind of have these things on hand. Right, so I'm going to take a block, right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the block, right, and I'm going to lie down, right, and I'm going to take the block underneath my sacrum. Right, so now there's 3 sides to a block, as you can see, right, so it's 3 heights, in other words. The people that since I've been teaching, which is quite a long time now, right, generally I find that most people come to the second height. Sometimes if they're tight, the first one, and rarely the last one, which is way up here. Right, so however, if you don't have a block, then you can just put a pillow under your sacrum or under your butt. Right, and then from here, right, we're going to just bring the feet out. Now, as soon as I do that, this is called supporting bridge posture. Right, now I can bring my hands out beside me, turn the palms up, close the eyes down. Okay. And breathe the body. Allow yourself to breathe nice and deep. And breathe it out. Sigh all the stresses of your day. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. And just allowing the posture to develop here. So, with Yin Yoga, there's only 3 things that we need to understand, and that is we come to a posture that suits us, right? So yours will look different to mine because you're different to me. So what I want to feel is, I want to feel energy, right, in my hip flexors. Right, I'm also getting quite a lot stretched through my lumbar section as well. You might find it more elsewhere, but it doesn't matter, right? We really want to try and find and feel the sensation that's occurring for us. So the functional objective of the posture is exactly that, to open up the hip flexor, right, and to open up the lower back, allowing the posture to do its work. So I've found my posture now that suits me, and it will be different to yours. The second thing that I'm going to do now, right, is I'm going to make a resolution in my mind to stay still. And stillness is in the mind as well as the body. So I want to stay still throughout this posture. And the last but not least element to Yin Yoga is time. So we tend to hold these postures for a lot longer than we would do in a Yang style class, a Vinyasa class, or a Hatha class. And the reason why is we want to switch the muscles off. We want to switch them off, and we want to move into the fascia of the body, allowing us to stretch through fascia, elongating and stimulating the connective tissue within the body. Allowing the breath to slow down. Allowing the body to give a little bit more. Letting go of your day. Letting go of the past. And definitely letting go of next. Enjoy. Good. Lovely. Take the bolster out, right? Just bring it to a side. Let the pelvis come down. Let the legs fall out, and then lie back in Shavasana. This is about the only Sanskrit word that we use in Yin Yoga, and the reasoning behind that is that it's the same in Yin Yoga, and the intent is the same. We just want to let everything be. So it's the same in the Yang class as well. We don't want to holding on to anything in corpse pose at the end of your vinyasa class. Just breathing here. And people say, oh, is Yin better than Yang? Well, of course not. How could that possibly be? Have you ever seen the Yin Yang sign where one side's bigger than the other? They're exactly the same size. They're interdependent. And you'll notice in the sign there's a little black dot in the white bit, and there's a little white dot in the black bit. And that's indicative of the fact that they both are interrelated. They both need each other, and they're both the same but different. All right, good. Coming out of that posture, we're just going to take our knees up, right, and we're going to take our right leg and take it over our left leg. So we've got the legs crossed over like this, and we're going to take a posture called twisting roots. So we're just going to shuffle the pelvis underneath and drop the knees over to the right hand side. Just allowing this to drop over, just a gentle twist. It's going to work down the side of the leg and on the outside of the hip as well. So a lot of the stressors in this outside hip are caused by the ITB band. Tight ITB band can pull the side of the hip out of whack. And so, this is just a lovely thing to do to get into that. Now, if you find that you want to support yourself, right, with a block or a bolster under this leg, that's fine, go ahead and do that. So what I mean by that is you can just bring a bolster or a pillow if you've got a pillow, right, and then just place it there. Right, so supporting is perfectly fine, right, in a yin class. So I found my posture, I've made my resolution to stay still. Of course, a little bit different from me because I'm actually teaching it rather than practicing. But for you, just calm your mind, don't worry about anything other than allowing yourself to relax into the posture. And really, worry is the wrong word, it's the wrong word to use, but it's a common one, isn't it? We use it all the time. In Australia, for those of you who have never been here or viewing outside of Australia, they have a saying that they say all the time, which is no worries, she'll be right, mate. No worries, she'll be right. She is everything. Just gently allowing ourselves to twist through the lumbar section here. And coming out of that. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take that bolster away. I'm just going to get it out of the light. I don't use them a great deal sometimes, but some people use them all the time, and that's fine, that's their practice. Right, take the other side now. Right, I'm just shuffling my pelvis, as you can see, so that I can drop over to this side. And then, once again, I'm getting a beautiful stretch through my lower spine. I've got some subluxation in my lower spine, and lots of people my age do, because I'm like 63, so trying to click on a little bit now, but I still feel amazing. And it's a lot of it's due to the fact that I practice yoga on a regular basis and have done for many years. But I haven't always been like this. I have, as I've indicated at the start, an alcoholic. I was grossly overweight, weighing in at around about 115 kilos. I was stressed businessman, still provided for my family, but was miserable. That was about 20 odd years ago now. Now I'm teetotal, don't do drugs. Vegan, don't eat meat. Don't do alcohol. Weigh in around about 78 kilos. Competed for Australia twice in triathlon, so I guess I'm what the before and after kind of dude. Totally transformed my life. Taking a nice deep breath into the body, allowing us to just settle in here. Bring the legs back up to the central position there, right? And then we're just going to take them out, down, shuffle the pelvis under, and we're going to take a rebound now. And for those of you new, once again, the rebound is something that we do in between a long hold, and it's just to exactly what it says, it's to rebound, so the body to rebound, not come back to exactly where it was, but to come back to a homeostasis, back to its equilibrium, which is where the body wants to be all the time. So it's not possible to do a yin or a yang class without changes. It's not possible to do anything without changes. Actions and consequences, or even thoughts and consequences. Relaxing here. As you can hear, it's a beautiful summer's day here in Western Australia. Quite hot, but beautiful. Good. All right. So we're just gently going to come out of that posture now. Coming up out of the posture. And just going to sit right with the feet together a little bit, allowing the knees to drop down again, bringing the hands over, right, and then just stretching out the back. So it is lower back. It's a little bit of work into the lower back, but also letting the knees drop out here. Let the head go. I have a tendency to hold on to my head. Right, and this is, stress here that's causing me to do that. And so, I still got to be consciously aware of the fact that I'm doing Yin Yoga and I'm letting the stress go. Just allowing it to dissipate. Giving myself permission to let go. I really want you to do that. Just want you to give yourselves permission to let go of the stuff that's holding you back. And it might be from your childhood. Maybe your dad or your mom wasn't nice to you. Or it might be from yesterday at work. Maybe still thinking about that comment that somebody said that, wasn't very nice. Put you down, tried to steal your power. Let it go, right? It's their situation, not yours anymore. Just let go of that. Allowing the knees to drop down, gently opening into the inner thigh here, in the hips. We're wanting to work into this area here, butterfly pose. Okay, just a few minutes in that one, not too long. All right, so the next posture we're going to do, right, you might want to sit up on your bolster, what have I done with it? Here it is, or your block. Right, I find it easier to do this posture this way. This is called fire log, right, and it's very, very grungy kind of feel that it's got to it. This posture is about moving the energy into the outside hip. Now, it may be too much for you, and so what I'm going to show you is the actual posture, and then if you want to modify it, I'll give you some modifications that you can do. So the posture is this. We're just going to take the left leg up and place it right into the crease of the right leg, where the calf muscle and the hamstrings meet. Right, and then from there, that's it, right? That could be it for you. Now, if you're really flexy, you can come all the way up into here, but I reckon you just stay here, because we can get deeper into this posture and get more sensation in this posture just by coming across and down, and then just letting the head down. And you might get your chest all the way down onto the ground, right? You might find that you would like to put a bolster underneath you, right, if you're flexy, and come down onto bolster, resting there. If you wish, that's fine. Right, find what suits you, right, and then just allow the sensations to take place and be involved with them. Now, if it's way too much for you and you're finding this leg is up here like this, right, that's fine. Just take it down, right, and then just take it down onto the ground, right, and that's fine. You can just stay here like this with the foot in front, right. That's perfectly fine. You'll still get the posture. And once again, if you want a little bit more, then you just come forward, holding yourself, dropping the head down and relaxing. Right, whatever works for you, that's fine. And this is, a lot of people come into a full lotus here, right, but we're not doing full lotus posture here, right, which is not really it's not considered to be a yin posture, but we can use it because it has yin qualities. Right, so then just allowing yourself to drop down into it, fire log. Now the body's allowing me a little bit more, so I'm coming down a little bit more into the posture. That's a caveat. There's a couple of caveats with staying still. The first one is that it's just what happened to me there. The body is let go, right? The fascia's opened up a little bit. The body's let go. It's realized that it's a safe, and so it's giving me a little bit more. So I'm taking it, right? I'm allowing myself to drop down a little bit deeper into the posture. You don't need to come deep. There's no pulling or pushing in Yin Yoga. You're just allowing the body to open up of its own accord. Conversely, if I'd come down then and it was sore, then I would come back out. Right? So if there's ever pain, and we know the difference, don't we? Like if you stub your toe, that's pain. Right? So just allowing the head to drop down here. Do what you like with the hands. I like to just have them here. You can have a bolster. A lot of people like that, right? Or a block here now, right? If they wish. Good, and then just gently coming up out of that posture. And now we're going to just take a bit of movement through the hip. Just rocking the feet backward and forward a little bit. Okay, and from here we're going to take the other side. So bringing the foot up the other way, and So now I've got my right on my left, and that's much, much easier for me now. That's so much easier, right? So much less sensation there. That's the way it is, guys. That's the way it is for all of us, right? Regardless, right? We are not symmetrical, we're asymmetrical, right? So it's going to be like this, right? So much easier for me on this side. Okay, so I need a little bit more, right? So I'm going to take it, right? Just by coming down. You might not need to, and if you don't, then that's fine. Come down, drop the head, and breathe. The essence of Yin Yoga is stillness, so we're just going to find that now. Breathing a little bit more now, coming down a little bit deeper. Sensation's starting to build quite strongly now, right, for me. But I've made a resolution to stay still, so I want to be with that sensation. I want to feel it. I want to be with it. Stay with it. Allow it to evolve. If some emotions start to come up as well, that's brilliant. I can just examine them and see what it's throwing up for me. I'm getting quite agitated in the posture now. So why is that? Why am I getting agitated here? I'm not going to break. I'm just allowing myself to sit still for a little while. So I can examine that. And hey, my default mechanism is one of anger. That's one of the reasons I practice so much yoga. Being Scottish and redhead and all that stuff. Angry. Gotta let it go. Good. And we're just gently gonna come out of that posture now. Good, lovely, guys. Beautiful. Sitting nice and tall, feeling the energy. Bring the feet out. Nice and slow. Nothing's done too quickly in Yin Yoga. Taking a little bit. You can windscreen wipe legs a little bit. That feels good. Okay, so we're going to come onto our knees now, and we're going to just work the hip a little bit. There's a series of what's called dragon poses in Yin Yoga, and they're amazing for hip opening in both sides. So I'll show you. We're just going to do a low dragon, right? So, right, taking the right leg forward, right, and taking the left leg back. Right. Now, this might be enough for you. This might be plenty for you, and if it is, that's fine. Stay here. Right, just feeling that. Right. So now, if you want more, right, you can come down onto your elbow like this. Or you might like to come down onto a bolster. Like this. Coming down onto a bolster and lying down on a bolster if that suits. That might be good for you. Right, for me, sometimes it depends on the day, right? I often stay here, just drop the head down. I'm getting plenty of work now. Hello, dragons. I'm just going to come down a little bit. The body's giving me a little bit more, so I'm just going to come down onto my elbow. Coming back to stillness now. Finding my stillness. Remembering I've made a resolution at the start of the posture to stay still, so that's what I'm doing. So I might just take this bolster underneath this hand. Give myself a little support here. Really starting to build now sensations in here. Good. I'm just gently going to come out of that posture now. Right, taking my leg up. Oh, goodness, that feels good. Coming down into a crocodile posture and just relaxing here. All right, other side. Right, so I know that this is a challenging pose. Right, I did say that it was simple, not easy at the start, and this is exactly what I mean. Right, this posture is challenging for lots of us, and it's supposed to be. You know, life is challenging. That's the way it is. Right, so we're taking the left leg forward. Right, and then we're going to take the right leg back a little bit. Right, so you can see I'm moving my knee back. Right, so initially I'm just going to hold here for a little while. Right, and just allowing myself to get the feeling of the posture. So there's nothing wrong with this in Yin Yoga. Just feeling for the posture. You don't need to come past your edge. So I'm actually at my edge pretty much now. Sure, I could get deeper. There's no danger there. I could definitely get deeper here, but I don't need to because I'm getting the benefit out of the posture right here, right now. Maybe once the body gives me a little bit more, I might. But right now, I'm just going to stay here and let my mind settle into the body. And you know, when we internally focus on inside, we call this in the 8 limbs, Patanjali's 8 limbs of yoga, pratyahara. And pratyahara is the practice of looking inward, seeing what's there. And the yogis for millennium have told us that that's where the answers are. And if you think about this statement, see if this makes sense to you. I'm looking for the answers without. That it just doesn't make sense. How can you look for answers without? And that's what we're doing, looking outside of us, looking at the distractions the world is throwing at us.
Compare that with this statement, I'm looking for the answers within. And that makes perfect sense. Even if we don't really fully understand what it means, it makes sense. Alright, so from here, right, I can come down onto my elbow now. Body's given me a little bit more, so I'm just going to come down. Once again, I'm going to use a bolster, just to put the other hand, right, and allowing myself the posture to develop here. Good. Just gently coming up with that pose now. And we're just going to clear ourselves to come into our final Shavasana. Rolling around. Getting ourselves comfortable. Bringing the body down. Palms face upward. Hands, back of the hands on the ground. Feet fall open. Just allowing the body to rebound first. Feeling the sensations in the hips. We've done a fair bit of work there. Letting go of the stresses once and for all. Let them go completely now. Close the eyes now. Relax. Enjoy yourself. You're not likely to get a gift as good as this body ever. So appreciate what it is that moves you around in this planet. Just feel the breath moving in and out of the body. Letting the shoulders melt into the mat. Let the eyelids be soft. Feel the sensation the eyes are making. And let the eyes fall back. Just letting the eyes fall back. The jaw is heavy. Allow it to be open. Starting to take some deeper breaths. I've had it before I fall asleep. Starting to take some deeper breaths into the body. Wiggling the toes and the fingers. Taking the hands and give yourself a stretch. Good. Oh, you might like to take the knees up. Just gently roll into the lumbar section there. And then in your own time, you might want to come into fetal posture, taking a few minutes here. Gently rolling up from there. Coming into a seated posture. And this is comfortable seated posture, but you know whether it's that comfortable. Right, bringing the hands into Namaskar. We're going to seal the practice as we do with the 3 Om mantra. So take a nice big deep breath in. Keep the prayer with the heart center. May we have love in our hearts. Bring the prayer to the lips. May we have truth in the speech. Bring the prayer to the forehead. May we have gratitude in the mind. Bring the prayer back down to the heart center. By the head, Namaste. Thank you for practicing Yin Yoga with me. Watch out for more videos on my channel. Subscribe, right? And that would be amazing. And we can take it from there. Thank you all very much. Have a magic day. Namaste.